Hello guys, welcome once again. This is 30 Days of Sense. My name is Ademola Shano and this is day 2. Yes, we are moving. We still have about 28 days to go. So if you're watching this for the first time, hit the subscribe button. It's a road to 1,000 subscribers. Remember to comment, like and share with your friends. By the way, there's a free gift for the first 10 comments I'm going to receive on this YouTube broadcast. Yes, on this particular episode, there's a free gift for the first 10 comments. Right, so once you comment, if you have my contact, just take a screenshot of the comment and send to my DM. All right, let's go into today's sense. Right. So I think one of the questions that I get asked the most, or one of the questions that's on the lips of every young person and teenager and young adult likewise, is do I need a mentor? Or questions around mentorship. What is mentorship? What can my mentor do? What are the roles of my mentor? And all of these things. And I was teaching in Osun State some weeks ago, and one of the young girls there, I think she was about 17, she mentioned the fact that she didn't need any mentor and she didn't see any reason for it, that she just feels it's just a waste of time calling somebody my mentor, my mentee, that it's cringy. Well, she does have some point that sometimes it could be cringy when you keep hearing my mentee, my mentor, but I think it's cringy to those who don't know the essence of it. Right? And so it begats the question, is mentorship compulsory? But before we go into whether mentorship is compulsory or not, I think it's essential that we do a proper understanding of what mentorship is, right? Many young persons think mentorship is sponsorship or coaching. Your mentor is not your coach, your mentor is not your sponsor. That is, your mentor is not the person you always run to, sir, give me 2K, sir, give me 10K. No. Your mentor is someone who will guide you in a particular field of life, right? I gave you already 7 major areas of your life. Right now, it doesn't mean that you must have a mentor in every of those areas. Well, later on, I'll dive deep into all of that on how to pick a mentor and where to pick a mentor and all of that. But for the sake of today's teaching, mentorship is basically guidance in such a way that there is proximity. What am I saying? Now, many young persons think that, okay, because I listen to Miles Monroe, because I listen to John C. Maxwell, that is my mentor. To some extent, there might be some truth to it, but I prefer to call them role models. I prefer to call them teachers. I prefer this is my teacher, this person teaches me. For example, Miles Monroe is one person that I adore so much. May his gentle soul rest in peace. He teaches me a lot through his books, but I cannot accurately call him my mentor because I do not have direct proximity with him. What that means is that when I have certain questions, I do not have access to him to ask him those questions. So the goal of mentorship is not just to read their materials. It's not just to watch their videos or listen to their audios. It's more about you being at crossroads, asking questions and receiving guidance as regards what to do in specific areas of your life. Coaching, on the other hand, is a short-term thing. Coaching deals with, okay, this is what you want to achieve in this few months. Okay, I'm going to coach you guys to achieve this. Just like a football coach of a team, right? You hear many of the players, their coach is not their mentor at all. You hear somebody say that, okay, my coach is my mentor is Ronaldo, but my coach might be Xavi or something. I'm not really versatile with football, so forgive me if I made a blunder there. But you see the difference there. So the coach is many times it's paid, right? Mentorship most times is free, right? True mentorship most times it's free, but it comes with a payment, right? It doesn't mean that you have to pay with money. It comes with a payment of service, of loyalty, of consistent following, right? But then when it comes to coaching, it's just a short-term thing, maybe 1 year, 2 years. Yes, that's also short-term. And then for mentorship, it's mostly long-term, 5 years and above, right? But the problem we have today is that we have many young people who just pick mentor every 6 months. Once they hear somebody teach, they're like, this person teaching is deep. I need this person to be my mentor. You will be my mentor, and you keep going up and down, shouting, will everybody be your mentor? So for me, mentorship is the summation of oneself to build the character, the traits, the habits, the principles of a man, right? Mentorship is not only listening to a man, it is submitting to the entire materials of such a person. So when I say submitting, now, we're in a generation where they say they want to tie my life, they want to tie me down. Listen, every freedom that does not have boundaries is actually a bondage. Right? So the truth is your freedom has to have boundaries, and that's why we need mentors. That's why we need people who are above us to say, this is what you don't do, this is what you do, this is what you do not do. The problem that we have in this generation is there is this demonic ideology that we think we actually do not need anybody. We don't need guidance. And you see, when we begin to think like that, it won't be very long before we lose our focus out of God, because at the point you think you don't need God, right? A man who understands that he needs God, we know that he needs men too. So mentorship is submission. You submit, and many of your decisions go through this kind of people, right? Major decisions, especially, you don't just go ahead and jump and do anything. And so when you see that it is this, the problem many people now have is that they're submitting to like 10 different people every six months, every three months, worse, every two weeks. And so you are living in a confused state, because this person is saying this person is saying this person is saying this person is saying this, and you have so many things contradicting themselves, and you just put yourself in a cycle of confusion like that. And so what is my advice? That just get 1 to 2 persons, right, depending on the area as well. Later on I'm going to dive deep into this to tell you the areas where you really need a mentor. But there are basically 2 types of mentorship, right? There is the formal mentorship, and then there is the informal mentorship. So the formal mentorship is one that I have practiced, and I also practice the informal mentorship. Now, the mentorship relationship is between a mentor and a mentee, that is the trainer and the trainee, the guide and the guidee. But basically, you get the idea, right? So the formal one, both of them come into an agreement. I'm going to mentor you on this. I'm going to be your mentor on this, and this is where you have the private mentorship programs and mentorship programs that people are doing all around. The informal mentorship program is the one that comes with consistent service, and you just position yourself. So the formal mentorship requires asking and going and say, okay sir, would you like to be my mentor? But I've come to find out that unless in a very official state, that doesn't really work totally. It doesn't really work unless in a very official state. But outside of the office, outside of the official state and all of that, the informal one works the most, where the mentee brings a lot to the table as he receives a lot from the mentor, right? Mentorship relationship is a two-way thing. The mentor gives, the mentee gives. What does the mentor give? What does the mentee give? In our next teaching, all right, in our next day of sense, I believe that I'll be able to touch on these things. I think one final thing I want to address in this video is the fact that with a mentor, your failure rate is reduced, right? Failure rate is reduced. You know, people always say things like experience is the best teacher, but I always counter that and say, yes, experience is the best teacher, but it doesn't have to be your own experience. You can learn from the experience of others that have gone ahead of you. Yes, thank you very much for watching this day of sense, this episode, or this day, or this part, or this teaching. So I'm going to see you tomorrow, same time, same station. I don't know. And yes, in case you're wondering what this is Intentional Leaders Summit coming up in September 5 in the city of Ilorin, Kwara State. We have just 20 slots, and as I speak to you right now, about 18 slots are left. Go ahead and click on a link somewhere around this video to show you where you can get more information about the Intentional Leaders Summit. Also, somewhere around this video, I'm going to be putting in the description below, I'm going to be putting a link to a 5-part teaching I have on mentorship. Right now, this is one teaching I always give people every time they come to meet me and say I want mentorship. I give it to them as a test, and many times many of them don't listen to it finish and they just run away, right? But it's a true test of your sincerity and your readiness to really work. Because if it's mentor-mentee relationship, then it's a work relationship, because I have to check on you, you have to check on me. It's a two-way thing. It's not a one-sided kind of thing that many of you think it is, that the mentor will be pursuing the mentee. No, more, we'll talk about that tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Subscribe.